Hello my beautiful friends and welcome back to my channel. This is Nova Gnome Creations and I'm Nova and I'm so glad you decided to join me today. Today is Wednesday, so we are halfway through the week, or we will be when we get halfway through this day. So I know a lot of us are just waiting for this week to be over based on my responses on my Monday video. So we're halfway there. We can do this. Today is also WIP Wednesday, so what are you working on this Wednesday? Let me know down in the comments what you're working on. Today I am working on a couple of things. So, here's what I've got going. The first thing that I'm going to show you is an ugly Christmas sweater that I'm working on. It's not ugly yet, and it won't be ugly because ugly Christmas sweaters aren't ugly in my opinion. Like, I've never, well, I won't say I've never seen an ugly Christmas sweater because I've seen pictures from like ugly Christmas sweater contests like on Facebook and stuff like that. You know, like those viral posts. And people go out of their way to make those ones ugly, like putting like fake boobs and stuff on them. But like an actual, like typical, what you think of when you think of an ugly Christmas sweater, I love like tacky Christmas sweaters. I love it absolutely. So I've been inspired to make an ugly Christmas sweater because several different channels are making ugly Christmas sweaters. And if you are wanting to make an ugly Christmas sweater and you want to get in on a little contest for that, or if you just want to have like a little bit of a crochet along, check out Charmed Grammy. I will put her a link to her channel in my description box. Also, Happy to Hook Creations is also doing an ugly Christmas sweater. They're doing that Hobie ugly Christmas sweater challenge thing. So I was watching their channels, you know, like I always do, and I was like, I really want to make an ugly Christmas sweater, but I don't want to make like another full-blown sweater because I'm still working on this cardigan, which I have worked on some. I've been working on one of the sleeves. And I'm getting pretty close to having the length I want for the sleeve, and then I'm going to start doing a cuff. So that's also something that's a work in progress that I'm working on. But anyway, I was like, I don't want to start like another full-blown, you know, sweater. So I decided to make baby sweaters, particularly for my niece and my nephew. So my nephew is absolutely adorable, and you've probably seen him quite a bit lately because I just visited Michigan, and he was the little green man, aka the alien from Buzz Lightyear. And also he was in my blanket pictures because he loves the mandala blanket that I made for his mom. And my niece is actually not born yet, and she's supposed to be due December 1st, so she could literally any day be making an entrance. So what I decided to do was, I was like, well, I want to make one for him, and then I was like, I don't know if I can make one in the size that she's going to need, but I'm going to do my best. It's hard to tell because babies, when they're born, there's such a variety of sizes they can be. And they grow quickly and stuff. So what I did was I found a bag-o-day pattern that was a 0 to 3 months pattern, and I started working on that. So without further ado, this is the back, and I'm going to put some buttons here so that it can cinch in, and you know, they have plenty of room to get the head in and out. But here is the front. Oh, it looks so cute. Looks like a little baby doll outfit. And I did make a little bit of modifications to it because as I was working it up, it felt like it was coming out too big. Because I know, you know, 0 to 3 months is kind of a wide range for a size, and the baby's obviously going to be on the 0 range of the 0 to 3 months. The last I knew, their like little gestational like reading or whatever was like 6 pounds and something ounces. Not that that's like a very reliable, you know, thing. They test it, but the baby's going to come out whatever size it comes out. But, so I don't know like how big it's going to end up being. And then also that if it's born, let's just say it's born December 1st, like its due date, then it still has that whole first month, you know, before Christmas really. But, you know, they could get use out of it, obviously, up until then. But, like, after Christmas is over, then this is not going to fit the baby next year. So I'm like, I want it to fit a newborn baby, but also still fit, like, even if the baby's a little bit on the big side or they grow quite a bit over the course of the month. So I'm hoping that this fits. And, you know, I also figured that I would rather the sweater be a little bit big, because you can wear like a little bit of an oversized sweater. You can't wear a sweater that doesn't fit because it's too small. So that's why I went with a 0 to 3 months. And also I just love Crystal's tutorials. So I was very happy to see she had a 0 to 3 months sweater tutorial. So, as far as the modifications go, and I will link, this video in, my description box. I cannot remember exactly what it's called, but there's quite a few videos, as usual, because Crystal has so many tutorials. There's quite a few videos that have, really similar names. So I'll just link the, video in the description, and that'll be the easiest way for you to find it. As far as modifications go, for the sleeves and for the bottom of the sweater, I shortened it by 1 row, as far as, like, you know, your just regular double crochets. I think it was double crochets. Yeah. I haven't worked on this in a couple days, but I am working on it. Or I didn't work on it yesterday. I did shorten 1 round of the double crochets out, and then the bottom round, the way that she has you do the, like, what would you call this? I mean, it's kind of a border, but, there's a word. Oh, come on. What's the word I'm looking for? Okay, if I can think of the word, I will edit it onto the screen if I can think of it before I post this. But she has you do this with over the course of 2 rounds, and you're doing, front post only triple crochets for 2 rounds. And then you do a single crochet border. Well, I didn't want to add 2 more rounds, and triple crochets are kind of long because, like I said, this being for a newborn, I felt like if it got too much longer than this, it was just going to be way too big, you know? So, I actually just did alternating front post and back post double crochets for 1 round. That's really bugging me. Ribbing. There we go. I thought of it. I was like, come on. I know what I'm trying to say. So yeah, for my ribbing, I just did alternating front post and back post double crochets for 1 round. And I think that came out really cute. And then I just did the single crochets. So mine's a little bit shorter, and, you know, a little bit more compact for my ribbing. But this is what I'm looking like so far. And what I'm thinking I'll do is, I have to do this other sleeve, obviously. And then I think I do a little bit of a, border around the neck. But then I'm thinking I will, like, crochet some, like, little bits to go on here, like little appliques. So, like, maybe a Christmas tree, maybe, like, a snow globe, like, I have no idea what I'm gonna put on there yet, but I was thinking I would crochet some appliques, and then I could put, like, some little pom-poms all over it, and, you know, just go with the ugly Christmas sweater vibe. And then obviously I'm gonna do the same thing for my nephew. I have this pattern. There's like 3 different sizes, but it only goes up. It's like 0 to 3 months, 3 to 6, and 6 to 9 is like the biggest it gets. So I'm like, I could possibly follow this pattern. Oh, that was the other thing I changed. The way that this fits so many sizes isn't the stitch count changing, it's your hook size. And for the 0 to 3 months, she actually recommended or she said to use a 5.5. I used a 5. So that was another little bit of a modification I made, because like I said, I wanted to make sure that this comes out on the smaller side of 0 to 3 months. So I was like, you know what? Instead of a 5.5, I'll just use a 5. Just, you know, little changes here and there to make it a little bit smaller. So I'm like, I could probably modify this pattern, just do more rounds and stuff, and make it for him. Or I did find she has another sweater pattern that is for a toddler. So I'm not sure which one I'm going to do yet. I'm like, I could just do the one that she made for a toddler, or I could try to customize this into the size that I need. maybe if I can, I know what size he wears, so maybe I can look up online like what are the measurements of this size, and maybe I can make it to measurements. So that's what I'm working on as far as that goes. And I am excited to get to customize that because I love like getting to do like the decorating aspect. So once I get those sweaters made, I'm probably going to make up both sweaters and then get into like decorating mode and make appliques and, you know, get out the pom-poms and all that good stuff. I'm excited to do that though. And I will obviously take you guys along for the journey. When I get the sweaters made, I'll probably do a video of decorating the sweaters, like make some appliques, get out the pom-poms and all that. And like do a video decorating them together or whatever. And then the other thing that I'm working on today is, yesterday I mentioned I was making pocket gnome beards. I'm trying to find the fronts and backs of these. So I ended up making 3 pocket gnome beards, and I wanted to start working on making the bodies and the hats. So I went and grabbed some yarns out of my stash that I thought would be fun to play with for this. So right now I'm working on this body, and I'm doing a variegated yarn. And I was like, this one is like Christmassy, but also like, I don't know. I think it's cool. I think it could be fun. So I had to look up what yarn this was, and it took me a minute to remember because I don't have a ball band with it anymore. I made my hubby a hat last year with like red anti-pilling yarn and then this anti-pilling yarn, but I thought that this was Big Twist anti-pilling yarn, and it was actually Lion Brand Basic Stitch, which is their anti-pilling yarn. So this, if you are interested in it, is Buffalo Hill. That is the name of the color. It's Lion Brand yarn, Basic Stitch, anti-pilling. Let's see. What other specs can I give you? It's 100% acrylic. Focus that for you. 100% acrylic. It has 100 grams or 185 yards. Oh, that's for solids. So for prints, which I would assume that this one is probably considered a print. 3 ounces, which is 85 grams or 153 yards. It gives like another measurement. It's like Moulines, M-O-U-L-I-N-E-S, which is basically the same amount. It's 3 ounces, 85 grams, but 157 yards. So somewhere in there, it's like 153, 157 yards. But it has the red in it, so, you know, it reads Christmassy enough. And I was thinking if I put it as the body color and then I do like a Christmassy color hat, that could be a fun kind of different look. I want to do them all different, so just to give you an idea of the color. And then I also grabbed out some other yarns so I can show you guys those. I got this at Goodwill, and I actually got more of this at Goodwill. I got it and then I went back and bought the rest of it because I was like, I want to have enough of it to use. This was a while ago. This was a long while ago. And I've been waiting all year to use it. It's Christmas Sparkle. It's obviously an older yarn. It is by Spin Right Yarns. It's 97% acrylic, 3% metallic thread for ornamentation. It even specifies. Machine wash 2 minutes. Oddly specific. Spin dry thoroughly. Machine dry approximately 5 minutes. Interesting. And it recommends a 5mm hook. It is 1.5 ounces or 42.5 grams. It doesn't have the yardage on it. Interesting. But yeah, oh, and it looks like it's a Canadian brand. Here, I'll get you guys focused. Oop, that didn't focus. There you go. if you were interested in any of the info, although it is a bit difficult to read. And then this is the yarn. So I saw this yarn at Goodwill, and I got some, and then I was like, I really want to do like Christmassy stuff with that next year, because it was after Christmas. So I went back and bought the rest of it. So I have some without the ball bands, and then this one is the one with the ball band. But isn't that pretty? And I was excited. I'm so excited to do Christmas yarns, you guys. I want to go buy some new Christmas yarns. I say new because this is the only Christmas yarn I technically own. But I think that this one will be fun to play with for the pocket gnomes. And then I grabbed this out, which this is a 3-weight yarn. So I'm not sure if I'm going to double strand it or if I'm going to try to use like a really tiny hook and make like a super tiny pocket gnome. Like extra miniature pocket gnome. But I thought that this, if I do it right, could read Christmas, since it's like, you know, these rich tweed greens. And if I put this, you know, pair this with red and stuff, I think that this could read Christmas, or even could read like woodland, like, you know, winter gnome. So I thought that would be fun. And I don't know if this color is discontinued. I didn't buy it on clearance or anything, but I do know that I noticed they changed their colors out. But in case this is still around, it is called eucalyptus. Not eucalyptus, it's U, like Y-O-U, hyphen calyptus. So here is the name for that. It's the Urban Chic Yarn Bee yarn. And it's a 3-weight yarn, and it comes with 275 yards. 78% acrylic, 22% cotton. So those are what I'm playing with. And then I also just grabbed some red and some green. So when I made it before, I used like a brighter green. I think it was a Premier green. It was my first like Premier Basics type of yarn. But this time I just grabbed this Just Yarn Worsted in the colorway of Fern. And this is the Dollar Tree yarn, and it comes with 109 yards, and it's 100% acrylic. And I thought that this would be, you know, like, a good, like, evergreen kind of color, and, like, it could be, like, woodsy, wintry woodsy type of thing, or it could be, like, you know, red and green traditional, colors. And I also grabbed some red. I do not remember what this red is. It doesn't have a ball band on it anymore, and it's been in there for a while. But it's a nice, you know, solid red. So I was like, yeah, let's use that. Because my other red that I'm using for that sweater, which I forgot to tell you, is I love this yarn. I even had the ball band sitting over here so I could remember to tell you guys about it. It's just the I love this yarn in the colorway of red. So number 4. Colorway number 4, red. And it is, let's see, 100% acrylic, and 355 yards. Recommends 5.5 crochet hook. This is what I'm using for that baby sweater, and I'm using a 5mm crochet hook. But what I had was apparently 2 partial skeins, which were mostly full of this red. So I used one of them, and I'm about to start the other one, which is also not a new skein, to make the other arm of it and finish off that sweater. So I'm like, I don't want to use my red I love this yarn because I'm going to need it for my sweaters. So I was like, hey, I'll pull out this other random red yarn that I kind of forgot was in there. And those are the colors of yarn I'm planning on playing with. Ah, there's a bug. Sorry. I'm pretty sure that was a mosquito. Anyway, I don't like bugs. Yeah, so that's what I'm working on today. And I just thought I would fill you guys in for WIP Wednesday, and you guys can let me know what you're working on for WIP Wednesday, and I will see you guys later. Bye, guys.